Welcome back to the Mindset Podcast, brought to you by Martecture. Get into the AI marketing mindset on the go. In under 15 minutes, stay ahead with our newsletter and podcast packed with the latest in AI plus marketing. Real research, real case studies, real insights.
Real stuff.
Exactly, real stuff.
So imagine asking a room full of marketing professionals who here uses AI.
Every single hand goes up.
Great. Every single hand goes up. But then you ask a follow-up question. You ask, who has fundamentally redesigned your marketing workflows around AI?
And almost every hand drops.
Yeah, they all drop. And that gap, that perfectly defines the exact moment we are in right now.
Today's deep dive is really essential listening for CMOs and marketing leaders who are trying to navigate this massive industry shift. We are talking about moving toward system thinking, orchestration, and total AI enablement.
It's an exploration of how the most successful organizations are taking their daily pressures and engineering them into actual scalable performance.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack this. I should probably start with that gap we mentioned at the top.
The gap between just using AI and actually redesigning the org around it.
I want to start by asking you a rather provocative question. Are your teams simply using AI, or have you fundamentally redesigned your workflows around it?
Yeah, that question right there it's exactly what separates the leaders from the laggards right now. Today, we're exploring the AI marketing mindset. We're pulling real-time market shifts from a few recent pieces in Inc., MarTech, and Harvard Business Review.
Right, and we should clarify we're reporting this as critical news, not just handing out advice. We are tracking a massive change in the industry. It's an absolute mandate for deep system thinking, orchestration, AI enablement, and engineered performance.
Exactly. Let's unpack that shift because, everyone is generating prompts, right? But the latest data shows the actual gap in marketing. It isn't about AI usage anymore. It's about AI readiness.
Which makes sense because we're moving past basic content generation into this era of agentic systems, meaning we aren't just talking about an AI that answers a question, we're talking about AI agents that can execute multi-step tasks on their own.
Yeah, which sounds great, but how does an organization actually build for that? Execution-level productivity, like churning out more emails, clearly isn't enough to move the needle.
It's not. The critical takeaway from the Inc. piece is a move toward AI orchestration. It's about connecting your AI engines directly into your CRMs, your analytics, and your automation platforms to build self-iterating feedback loops.
Imagine an AI agent analyzing campaign performance in real time and then autonomously adjusting the targeting parameters in your CRM and deploying a new asset, all without a human ever hitting send.
That level of orchestration sounds incredibly powerful, but also expensive. Everyone says they're automating, but is anyone actually seeing a financial return on that investment?
That is the exact 10% gap the MarTech data highlights. Right now, 36% of marketing budgets are allocated to transformation initiatives. But less than 10% of that funding actually goes toward improving the operating models.
So they're buying the tech, but not changing how the work
actually gets done, exactly, and it's costing them. The data shows that leaders reporting high automation are twice as likely to see returns on their AI investments.
The most ambitious organizations are projecting a jump from 16% automated workflows to 36% by 2027.
But wait, if we are telling CMOs to automate over a third of their workflows, doesn't that risk stripping the human element out of the brand entirely?
It's a valid concern, but the goal isn't replacing human creativity. It's about engineered performance through rule-based automation. That's the fastest path to ROI. Restructuring how work actually moves through an organization has become non-negotiable if you want the tech to pay off.
If getting the internal tech connected is step one, step two is adapting to how this is changing the customer side. The latest HBR research outlines two massive fronts of disruption, starting with a fundamental upending of the funnel.
Yeah, we're tracking a major shift from SEO to Generative Engine Optimization.
The drop is significant. Online searches have fallen roughly 20% since ChatGPT launched. People aren't clicking through to websites as much. They're just getting their answers directly from the chat interface.
Which leads into the second disruption, and this is the one that really changes the game. We aren't just marketing to humans anymore. Bots are becoming actual customers.
Yes, we're actively marketing to algorithms that make purchasing decisions. And the behavioral data, this bot psychology, is fascinating. Tests reveal that GPT heavily favors products displayed in the first position.
While Claude prefers products in the middle, and Gemini favors the right side.
Think about what that means in practice for your tech stack. If you know a high-value enterprise client relies on Claude, you literally have to design your digital storefront so your flagship product sits right in the middle to get recommended.
You absolutely must design for machine customers. This requires deep AI enablement. You have to structure your data so algorithms can parse it directly and efficiently. But going back to your earlier point about the human element, you have to do it without losing the brand connection and community experience that bots simply cannot replicate.
So to recap today's shifts, we are seeing a critical pivot from simple AI adoption to full-scale architecture. We're tracking the undeniable ROI of automation and engineered performance, and we're witnessing the rise of GEO and machine customers.
Success in this new era fundamentally requires deep system thinking and orchestrated technology.
And here is a final finding from the research to leave you with to mull over. AI systems actually rate AI-generated copy higher than human-written copy.
Wow. So if your future buyer is an algorithm with an inherent bias toward its own kind, how will you design your brand to stand out?
That's all the time we have for this deep dive. This episode of the Mindset Podcast was brought to you by Martexture. Get into the AI marketing mindset. On the go. In under 15 minutes, stay ahead with our newsletter and podcast packed with the latest in AI plus marketing. Real research, real case studies, real insights.
Real stuff.
Real stuff.
See you next time.